Jenny and Jamie, breaking the ice, breaking the ice, breaking the ice. Jenny and Jamie, breaking the ice, breaking the ice.
As you know, I work for the hotel industry. At the end of one really high-end wedding, the guest went to go retrieve his car. He found the valet attendant, but his keys were nowhere to be found. The customer starts freaking out. He threatened to call the lawyers, he threatened to call the police, he threatened to make every possible bad response on YouTube, on Google, on TripAdvisor, all type of bad reviews. We apologized up, down, and around for our mistake. Guest wasn't satisfied, so we called the police. Police comes by 15, 20 minutes later, and it was so cute. You had to see the police officer with his flashlight looking in the bushes. Of course, he couldn't find anything. We let the gentleman go home and his party. They went home. We sent him home in car service. We said, let's deal with this Monday morning. And we knew Monday was going to be a real pain in the neck. So Monday morning comes and goes. Customer comes. We had a locksmith already there waiting to go. Locksmith got in the car, made a new set of keys, and we let the customer go home. Once again, apologized everywhere. Knowing, but that wasn't going to solve the issue, but the best that we can do at that time. The weird part is about 2 weeks later, we get a phone call from the customer. And very, very shy and sheepishly, he says, yeah, I just wanted you to know that I found my car keys. Great. Where were they? Well, when I took my jacket to the dry cleaner, the keys were at the bottom of my pocket. I'm really sorry. Friends, listen, you're going to have some good situations, some bad situations, but don't freak out on your service provider. Because before you do that, do one thing, please. Check inside your jacket pocket. Maybe your car keys are right in that left-hand pocket. You never know. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, weird customer moments. I mean, I won the Crate Magnet Award years ago. Okay, but those weren't necessarily funny. Some of those were not funny. I think one weird but funny thing is when a customer actually replied to me with a song, a thank you song for helping them, and it was weird and different and cool. Like, it's a cool, awesome, funny thing. Like, I thought it was the greatest thing when that happened. And then, of course, I had to reply with a song back. But that was definitely one of the most, I guess I would say, more unique customer interactions that I've ever had.
I used to work for a domain name registration company, and everything that we did was online. People would go to our website and renew their domain names. They'd search for one they wanted and buy it. But a few times, local customers came to our door and knocked and said they wanted to renew their domain name. One time they even showed up with cash. And it's funny because we all kind of looked at each other and said, wait, the customer's here? They're at our door? What are we going to do with them? So it was always a funny moment, and it's puzzling because it probably doesn't need to be a funny moment because tons of people do customer service face-to-face.
Face-to-face is definitely much more difficult. See, because when you're dealing with somebody face-to-face, you're not just listening to the words that they are saying. You are judging them by their entire body. You're looking at their eyes, you're looking at how they are standing, you're looking at their facial expressions, their body language. If they're very shy, if they're very introverted or closed up, they may be hiding something. If they're standing tall, looking you right in the eye and smiling, they're probably being honest with you, which is great. That'll really help you depending on the type of scenario you're dealing with. When you're over the phone, you can be home, you can be in your office in your pajamas and fuzzy slippers. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. As long as the words that come over the phone line are pleasant and are appropriate. But at the same time, it may be more difficult face-to-face, but over the phone, the only thing you have to be judged by is the words you say. You still have to smile when you're speaking. You still have to stand upright and appropriately respond in a way that gets your point across with your words only. So for many people, that's actually more difficult. Take care.
All different types of customer service have their not so fine, difficult moments. But I will say that while being on the phone seems easier, you are missing one very important element, and that is nonverbal communication and body language. You have that when you do face-to-face service, and you're able to kind of gauge the customer's next action, maybe before they even say anything. You might be able to provide even better service because you kind of see how frustrated they might be or how afraid they might be. So that kind of leans into my advice for the different type of customer support, and really tuning in to the body language. When you're on the phone, maybe tuning into the tone of voice and any other types of hints that may suggest the customer is feeling one way or another.
I'm going to say in a lot of ways, I think support over the phone or email or chat or social media is more difficult than face-to-face because you have a barrier between you and the customer. You can't see what they're saying unless you have like a cool screen sharing tool, which is totally possible. But you also don't get their nonverbal communication, and they say that 95% of communication is nonverbal. So I think my advice to you, whether it's face-to-face or virtual, is to do everything you can to eliminate barriers. If you think that your mode of communication with a customer isn't effective, don't be afraid to offer up a better mode of communication. Sometimes that's reading an email and just deciding to pick up the phone. Sometimes if the customer's local, or if you're a local business, hang up the phone and go meet the customer and meet them where they're at. And the more you can do that and have that mentality, the better service you'll provide.